What's going on, guys? So today I'm talking about what a warehouse job is, taught me, or what I've learned about business and entrepreneurship from a warehouse job. If you watch the guy Reese in the Cut, I kind of got this idea from him. I have done a video before about what a 9 to 5 has taught me. You can check this out. But I want to go more into detail because as a person who works, you know what I'm saying, at a warehouse now, I want to tell you what I've learned, specifically how it relates to entrepreneurship. So we're going to get straight into it. So first thing, I don't have no script. I'm going straight off the dome. First thing is work ethic, man. Like work ethic. Like you have to work for something. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes if you don't work for yourself, you will work for other people. And this is not me saying that um working for other people is bad or that you can't do, you have to be an entrepreneur or anything like that. But whatever you do, you have to have work ethic. You have to have, and work ethic doesn't always mean working hard, but it is about working efficiently and working with intent and to the best of your ability. So you have to have work ethic in anything you do. In a warehouse, people can be on your butt, but sometimes it's about like you have to have, as I'm a driver, so as a driver I have to have the get up and go mentality. Like if something happens at one house, I have to like scrap that out of my mind. I got to get to the other house because I got 200 houses that I might have to hit today. You know what I mean? So I cannot let what's going on the road distract me from where I need to get to next. You know what I mean? And also it means that sometimes you don't need to move too fast. Sometimes you need to be able to pace yourself to get the things that you need done. And that's what kind of working at a warehouse has taught me. It's like work ethic, man. Like focus. You know what I'm saying? Excellence. Like whatever you're gonna do, focus on it and do the best you can at it. It's a lot of people here. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. I know sometimes working at a warehouse seems like a dead end job or like a deadbeat job or something like that. But it's kind of a means to end for a lot of people. Some people they play sports. They don't. We have a lot of people that play sports that don't play sports anymore. So they kind of in the in between period. I have people there who, in the military and they just got out of the military. Seeing other people who were like, they worked on boats. They might have been like merchant seamen and now they doing this. Other people they saving up, to pay off a car, pay off a house, or get in land. People are there for different reasons, but everybody is there also for one reason. It's like a means to an end. Like we here to strap down, do what we need to do, and keep it pushing. And so that's another thing about entrepreneurship and working in a warehouse. Sometimes it's not about you can complain about your situation. A lot of people have fallen on hard times. I fell on hard times. It's kind of tough sometimes for everybody. You know what I mean? But sometimes you got to just dig down, dig deep until you can get out of that hole that you're in. You know what I mean? I'm there mainly, to like pay off debt and stuff like that, to make extra bread, and to try to get ahead, to get ahead in my life, and you kind of use these things not as like end all be alls, but as a mean to end. So if you're a person at a warehouse right now, you use it as a stepping stone, not to like stay there. You know what I mean? You use it as a stepping stone, not a stone to drag you down. So keep your mind right. Keep your attitude and your perspective about yourself. Find music that encourages you, podcasts that encourage you, all of that stuff, because everybody's there for a reason. And if you don't get in to get out, you won't get out. Which is the third thing is the time of value. Like you might get paid $15, $20, $22, $23. Everybody's getting paid probably around like $20, some a little less, whatever, depending on what you're doing, right? $20 is different wherever you go. And what I mean by that is the value that $20 can give you. At a warehouse, they working you. You know what I'm saying? You working. And when you working some more. And so it's understanding that, okay, if I can get $20 here for this, somebody can pay me $20 for something else that I know to do. Whether it's selling shirts or like me, selling candles or, you know what I mean, selling anything else that I made by hand or a digital product or a service, whatever it is, if I'm working this hard here for $20 an hour, somebody can pay me $20 somewhere else or pay me more. So think about that when you are use it as motivation. You know what I'm saying? Use it as leverage for yourself to like push you. Like, okay, I'm here at this job. I don't want to be here. Let me build a base for myself. But let me also understand that even though I have to work hard for these $20 now, it's a way for me to make $20 easier that's less stressful. And also for people who are in less stressful jobs who are doing entrepreneur, be grateful because that can one day be you. You know what I mean? I was having a conversation with my girl the other day, and they was like, oh, well, and my cousin, they was like, oh, I'm so glad I don't do that because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. And I told them, I said, you don't know what you could do until you got to do it. I said, it's not that I want to do it. It said, this is what's got to be done right now. I don't got to be here forever. I'm not going to be here forever. But this is what I need to do right now until I get to the next point. So you have to look at that. I think with everything in your life, even when things are going bad, this is what I got to do. You can complain about it. You know what I'm saying? You can feel miserable and feel bad. I'm not taking away how you feel. But ultimately, it's like, let's get in, get it done, and get out. I think I wasted a lot of time in my life. Not wasted, because I didn't understand. But I think I spent a lot of time in my life, not just complaining, but like wishing things were better instead of saying, hey, man, let's use this time to make things better and then go do something else. If you're waiting, and this same thing, entrepreneurship, if you're waiting for somebody to make your situation better, you might as well keep waiting. You're going to have to do the work. You can pray to God for his help and stuff like that, but you're going to have to do the work. Your feet going to have to do some moving. You know what I mean? You're going to have to save some money. You're going to have to be a little better with your financial, discipline. And this is not to be hard on you, but if you're talking about entrepreneurship and you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to tighten your systems up. You know what I'm saying? This is a reality check. Like, if you're an entrepreneur, if you think, oh, well, people make $1,000 in a day, entrepreneur, and people do this, they have a system. They have a thing, whatever, that goes like this. You know what I'm saying? This is what we gotta do. This is when we clock in. This is when we clock in. And you know how to make the money. Once you know how to make the money, you can make the money reoccur. It's not always, and this is why I'm talking about money and value. It's not always that you can't make a lot of money. You just don't know how to make a lot of money yet. But once you know how to make a lot of money, once you learn how to do it, you can do it efficiently. But if you don't have no work ethic, if you don't have no, time management, which I'm going to talk about as well, if you don't have no perspective and no mindset that when things is down, you want to run away instead of dig in, you're going to make it hard for yourself to make the money. You know what I'm saying? People want to give money, but you gotta kind of have a certain type of mindset. Like, I'm not going to give money, and ask yourself this question. Are you going to give money to somebody who don't do nothing for their money? They always lazy. They always complaining, and they don't try to make the best of them scenario. You gonna lend them $20? I probably won't. I might give them $20, but I'm not gonna expect them to give me $20 back because they don't have no ugh. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no chutzpah. They don't have no get up and go. That's the same thing as your job. You complaining. You don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? You trying to get in. You trying to get out. You lazy. You don't have no get up and go. You just say, I'd rather do something else. I'd rather do something else. Why would I give you any money? You know what I'm saying? Why would anybody lend you? If somebody was lending you $500 to start a business, why would they do that if you don't even have the mentality of I have somewhere to go, I have somewhere to be? You understand, like, yes, I can go somewhere else and make more money, but if you don't have the work ethic and the right mindset to do that, and mindset is a lot of it, if you don't have the right work ethic and mindset to do it, why would I give you any money to do it? You're not gonna do nothing but waste my money, right? So time of value. Time management is another thing. I talked about this in before. Some way, somehow, when you always busy and you're on a deadline, you get it done. I don't know how, but you get it done. So that shows me that it's a time management issue. You know what I'm saying? It's not that you can't do it. It's a time management issue. Prioritizing and time management. I remember when I was in college, and this was, what I'm saying, a few years back, whatever, when I first moved to like a university. I transferred from a community college to a university. I was struggling, man. And a guy who was there, his name was Brandon. Shout out Brandon. If you ever see the Beat Twice, shout out him. And he probably don't even remember he said this, but I think I asked him, I was like, man, like, what is like the biggest thing that, colleges taught you, you know what I'm saying? Because he was like in a fraternity, he ran track, he did all this stuff. And he was like, bro, time management. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he said that to me, if he said that to somebody else, but he's like, time management is the most important thing. You know what I mean? And I was like, why time management? But it's because you don't always have time, so you have to make the most of your time. When you're an entrepreneur, when you're a content creator, when you're working for yourself, you have to make the most of your time. For some reason, the days that I'm off, that I have all the time in the world, that is when I take my time. Some days, that is when I take my time. And that could also be why when it comes to entrepreneur, things don't always go the way I want to do, because sometimes I'm hesitating when I need to be decisive. You know what I'm saying? So time management is important. You got kids. People say, oh, I got kids, I got this. You have to adapt. You know what I'm saying? If you got only 15, 20 minutes in this time, an hour, you see my videos, no edits. I'm going to work. Sometimes I'm coming from work. Sometimes I'm at the house. I'm getting ready for work. Sometimes I'm off. And, I got other things to do today. And I got like a 30-minute window. And I'm just knocking out videos. You have to adapt to whatever your situation is. So if you don't always have time to like, okay, well, I can't sit an hour and record a video and an hour edit a video, hour. That's too long of a process. You need to cut that in like not even a third. Like cut that in half completely. Like to me, if you spending more than probably like an hour, you probably need to like, you know what I'm saying, change your process a little bit. Time management. Like even if it's not as pretty or as beautiful as you want it to be, you have to be able to manage your time because it's about to get the reps in. Like for me, working at a warehouse, you are on a time clock, bro. Like they is not playing with you. When I gotta do these deliveries, I cannot take my time, bro. If I got 200 stops, 25, 26 stops an hour, I gotta go. Like boom, 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 drop it, get back, drop it. And you have to do it efficiently. You know what I mean? I have to go to every stop. I have to scan it at the point of the delivery, which is at the door. I have to scan it at the door. I have to take a picture at the door, and then I have to get back in my truck and then drive to the next stop. Even if the next stop is 2 houses down, I gotta get back in my truck, put my seatbelt on, drive to the house, put my car in park, get the package, take my seatbelt off, get out, do it again, get back in, put my seatbelt, and then do it again. You're doing that like 200 times. You understand what I'm saying? It's a time management thing, and I be bad sometimes when, with moving too fast. Sometimes I be making mistakes that I don't need to make, but it's because I could be anxious and moving fast. So it's like you got to be efficient with your time, but you also got to be intentional with your time. You can't just move fast. You got to move fast and do well at the same time. And entrepreneurship is the same way. Like you got to move sometimes at speed, but you got to do well. And it doesn't mean that you got to move at the speed of lightning. You have to have a good pace for yourself. And then as you get a good pace foundation, you'll build up the pace. Same thing with creating content. Same thing with business. Same thing with work. You might not be the fast out of the gate, but you build yourself a good foundation. You build on that foundation, and then you keep going. You know what I'm saying? If you're here so far in the video, man, drop a thumbs up. I got a few more. Another thing that I learned about working in a warehouse, man, is having the right team around you, man. Sometimes warehouse jobs suck. I mean, they already suck sometimes, but it's sometimes they suck because of the people that's leading you. You know what I mean? Sometimes the team isn't it's not a great team. So I think that's important as entrepreneurs to have great teams around you. Also, warehouse job, they cut people quick, man. So it's like you gotta be on your P's and Q's. Either they cut people quick or people fall off. And that shows you that sometimes you need a certain caliber of person around you. You know what I mean? Like when I do business, I know before when I was younger, it's like, oh well, let's try to do business with friends, let's try to do this, let's try to do that. And you wasting time trying to do business with people who aren't really focused or wanting the same thing you want. If they don't want the same thing you want, man, you got to get rid of them and you got to go. And there's no hard feelings. It's just the fact that it's like it seems like it's harsh, but it's not, because when it's your money on the line, it's your time on the line, and you got thousands of dollars, millions of dollars invested in, you don't have no time for nobody playing with your money. You know what I'm saying? Because you like, you know what I'm saying? You don't got time for that. So it's like, let me just find people who are good already, pay them for them being good, and then do the best to keep them around. Because sometimes it's hard to find good people who want the same thing that you want. So it's not just finding good people, but also treating them well to the point where they want to work with you and they want to be around. But cutting the foolishness as soon as like it becomes a problem. I worked in management too before this. And so a hard time sometimes we had was like keeping people around because we liked them, even though they wasn't doing the business and they wasn't doing the numbers that we needed them to do. So it's like, it's no hard feelings. Just let them know, hey, I don't think this works out for you. Maybe we can do this again another time, or not. Just say, hey, I don't think this is working out. I think I want to go in a different direction. I think I want to try something else. You don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be rude. Just, hey, that's what it is. And this is why, like, I do a lot of stuff by myself, because a lot of people don't have that. They don't have that focus. And until I can find other people to help me, I have to kind of streamline what I can do, focus on what I can do, and then do that. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Or find other ways to do it. So that's another thing. Finding the right people and having the right team around you. I say the last thing about it is making the best of whatever your experience is while you're there. So for me, working at a warehouse, the days is long, or driving for a warehouse, whatever. The days is long. I'm tired. I have to keep my mind right. I have to keep my body right. I have to keep everything mindset. When you're an entrepreneur and creator, and all these different things, mindset. And I'm not just talking about mindset like just manifesting things. I'm not talking about that, because I what I am saying is just like it's finding a way to kind of keep, a positive outlook even when things is negative. Sometimes, when I'm posting these videos and stuff, I don't know if a video is gonna do great. I'm believing that a video is gonna do great. If not, I kind of post it anyways. I don't think too much about it, and I try to go on to the next video. You know what I mean? Because I get better with reps. But if I think about like, oh, what if nobody likes this video? What if it don't look as good as I thought it was gonna look? It don't sound as good as I thought. It's a lot of videos on my channel. I don't think half of them are any good. I don't. But somebody might get some value from them, and I'm cool with that. But if they don't, I'm gonna keep just, you know what I'm saying, getting the reps in and doing what I need to do. So it's having the right mindset. When I'm at work, man, and it's hot outside, I'm tired, I'm depleted. But one thing I try to do is I keep my mind going by listening to, music that I want to listen to, or listen to podcasts really that I want to listen to. I watch other YouTubers that I like listening to. But I keep my body fueled with the right foods. I drink a lot of, Gatorades and, electrolytes. I eat a lot of fruit and vegetables and stuff like that, because that's gonna maintain me to the next destination. So that's another thing. Mindset can also start with your body. Sometimes the things that you put in your body, it affects your mind and how you think. For a long time, I was always tired, and I still don't know why I be tired. I still don't know, but I try to take, either like supplements or like, drinks or different things like that that's going to keep my energy going. So that way my mind is more clear and is more focused. So you have to kind of look at all these things when you're talking about being an entrepreneur, when you're talking about being a content creator. You know what I mean? I ain't got there, to the big views yet, but they're coming because I'm laying the foundation. You see it in real time. You know what I mean? And you have to start before you feel like you're ready, man. Like, at a warehouse job, I didn't want to go to no warehouse job, and be honest with you, I didn't. But that's what came up, and I had to make the best of it. And I wasn't even ready for the hours. I still don't be ready for it. I be tired, man. I really, really do. But you learn as you go, and you have to give yourself grace. It be a lot of days where I just don't be doing the way that I'm supposed to do it, but I really be trying my best. I really, really do. And you have to be okay with that. Sometimes it don't add up yet. You know what I mean? Because maybe that's not the thing that you're supposed to do, or maybe that's not the time, or maybe you just haven't figured out why it's not working, and that's okay. You just got to get your reps in and literally like detach from the process, man. Go on to the next video. Go on to the next thing. That product didn't work out. Go on to the next thing. Like, it's really just like throwing darts at a wall to see which one stick, and just, kind of have that process, have that mindset about yourself, man. Like, it's not about, sometimes it is timing in life, but sometimes it's not about if it'll work or when it'll work. It's just like, it's not if I can do it, it's will I do it? Like, will I try? You know what I mean? Like, will I try? You know what I'm saying? My goal today is to get 3 videos on YouTube today. Why? I don't know. But that's my goal today. And y'all probably gonna see 3 videos drop today. This probably be the third one in the you know what I'm saying, in the mix. But that's just because, why not? Just try it. I just want to try it and see what happens. And so mindset is important. Sometimes you gotta just do different challenges. Like, sometimes I just be in. If you a beat maker, man, sometimes I be at work making beats and writing down notes. Okay, this is fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do stuff like that. Like, you just gotta challenge yourself and find creative ways to kind of lock in on what you're doing. Because I think personally, if you lock in at a warehouse job, bro, and you can be there, you can be successful in the real world, because it's got all the components. It's got the stress, it's got the work ethic, the time management. You know what I'm saying? The the atmosphere that might not be the best, but you can make the best out of it, right? So that's what we're doing. I'm here. Y'all have a great day, man. Till next time. Peace.